Today, I wanna watch some More Parz. Because someone said that there's a new tree, a new deadly tree. More deadlier than the grenade tree before at the previous video. Let's see.
This is the world's deadliest tree.
Yeah,
Introducing the manchineal tree, found in the United States of America and the Caribbean, and you may be wondering what makes it
It's not in Australia anymore.
so deadly. And the answer is that when growing this thing, God used the same design philosophy that Miyazaki uses when he puts a swamp in a FromSoft game. Because even thinking about the fucking thing will poison you. Leave me alone! The entire tree, from root to stem, contains more toxicity than a league lobby, and that starts with the sap. This thick, sticky, white substance is not only found inside the tree, but thinly coats the entire thing, not unlike the sock under your bed. This is a problem because...
Why is that freaking sock so hard?
This is a problem because it contains 3 separate toxins that will seep into your system if you so much as f***ing brush the thing, causing severe itching, swelling, and chemical burns.
I think it's just because of allergies.
Getting toxic shock from just touching the thing isn't enough for you? Well, you'll be happy to know that eating the fruit on it can just kill you.
Damn.
Yeah, what the sap does to your skin, the fruit essentially does to your throat and internal organs. So just a few bites of Satan's apple here will cause you to start choking before you experience the worst stomach pain of your entire life, collapse to the ground, puke your guts up, and then start shitting them out. But the f***ed up part is even if you don't eat the fruit or
so they just poop it out? Or you take a dookie until you die?
Touch the tree, it can still poison you. How?
What?
Well, let's say you're walking outside and suddenly it starts pissing down with rain. Thinking quickly, you run for cover under the branches of a tree. A manchineal tree. The rain hits the leaves and the branches of the tree, mixes with the toxic sap, and then falls directly onto your fucking head.
Ow. The damage over time. A moment, I need to see if this tree is available here again. The tree is not native or typically found in Malaysia. Yeah. But the ones over here, however, you need to take a close look at this tree. Look at it. Look at it, It just looks like any other typical tree in the area. The tree leaves look like this. Beware of any tree leaves that look like this.
Spiders are scary. But hey, at least they can't get you in the water, right?
Geez.
Yeah, that nightmare is a fishing spider. Native to the land down under because of...
Why is it so big?
Yeah, that nightmare is a fishing spider. Native to the land down under because of course it fucking is. And you may be wondering why the fuck this thing is pulling a Jesus. Well, you see, fishing spiders have no webs. Which means they can't just wait for a fly to clothesline itself when they're hungry. No, when they want to feed, they gotta hop in the ute, drive down to the waterfront, and get ready to do some serious fishing. Now, last I checked, spiders can't just go down to BCF and buy a fishing rod. No, these little guys need to get hands-on. Or, should I say feet? Because they start their hunt by resting their forelegs on the water's surface. These legs are covered in incredibly sensitive hairs, which detect tiny little ripples and vibrations from the water, basically giving them their prey's fucking IP address. Not only finding their location, but also doxing what fucking species it is. Uncooked fish finger located. All that's left to do is, you know, go out and grab him.
That's so cool.
But, how? Well, no, he's not wearing 4 pairs of Frostwalker boots. Those long legs are also coated in hydrophobic hair. This allows them to put their weight on the water without breaking the surface tension. This means that when they see their prey, they can simply Jesus towards it at Mach 5 and fucking grab it. Biting it with venomous fangs that inject, you guessed it,
say the line, neurotoxin.
neurotoxin.
Again!
And
Yay!
once it's paralysed, they drag it back to the shore and have a feed. Ah, wait, this one's too small. We gotta throw him back.
Get away!
Koalas are really dumb. In fact, Australia's fuzzy icon is probably
Maybe it's all the eucalyptus it ate. I kinda like eucalyptus too. Like, I don't eat it, but I like to smell it. So am I slowly getting dumb? Should I get rid of my eucalyptus essence then?
the dumbest thing on the planet. And that stupidity starts with their diet, because of all the things they could have chosen to eat, they chose to eat nothing but straight up poison. You see, koalas feed exclusively on eucalyptus leaves.
Eucalyptus is poisonous? Oh no. But I'm guessing the ones that sold to the public is already detoxified. Of course it is, right?
Which,
Don't tell
shocking
me
no
it's not.
one, are highly toxic, because they are full to the brim with eucalypt oil, which is so fucking poisonous that as little as 3.75 mil is enough to land you in the afterlife, with the Reaper asking you why the fuck you felt the need to eat a leaf.
Why?
Oh, it's also
Why?
highly flammable and burns like napalm, because Australia. Now, despite nature putting up this giant do not eat sign, that did not stop the koala, because he can't fucking read. This suboptimal bulking diet not only gives the koala fuck all in the way of nutrition, but also requires their body to rest to filter out the toxins so they don't fucking cark it. Meaning they need to spend upwards of
The poor
18
things.
hours a day sleeping in order to just digest their fucking food. These dumbasses spend most of their life in a food coma. That is, however,
so
if they even get
sad.
to the food to begin with, because they are so mind-numbingly brain dead that they will not recognize a eucalyptus leaf as food unless it is on the branch. I could give this dumbass a lifetime supply of food, and if it wasn't on a stick, he would starve to death.
No, it wants it fresh from the tree.
It's no surprise to you at this point that the koala has such an esky temperature IQ that they literally have a smooth brain.
Huh? What? Huh? Holy, what? Like, I thought people were just joking, like, your brain is so smooth because you're dumb. Maybe the other way around. You're dumb because your brain is smooth. But who knew there's actually smooth brain? The poor koalas, too many eucalyptus. Man, I like the eucalyptus scent too. Damn.
The thoughts slide right off of this dumb c***. I love him.
Same. It's cute.
Australia has just found zombified bugs.
Great.
That's right, we are closer to the Walking Dead Down Under than you think. You see, just recently, a scientist by the name of Dr. Francois Broussard made a trek out to the remote savannah of the Northern Territory.
Did
with
I
the goal of
watch
finding
this?
and cataloguing brand new species of insect unknown to science. I mean, me personally, I think we've found more than enough bugs, especially considering that half of them can send me directly into the fucking soil. But what do I know, right? Anyway, on his trip to the middle of nowhere, he stumbled across a colony of spiny savanna ants, which is a pretty normal
ants.
thing to find out there. However, getting closer, he noticed something a little off. You see, the main ant colony was fine, completely normal. However, the several disfigured and deformed ant corpses clamped onto shoots of grass surrounding the colony like a Bug's Life version of Vlad the Inhaler, yeah, those were significantly less normal. Broussard, mildly unsettled by the ant gore on his timeline, took samples for inspection and upon getting a closer look, realised something both
It's a fungus,
really cool
maybe?
and really, really spooky.
Oh.
The ants had been overtaken by fungus.
I knew it.
More
It's
accurately,
always-
a previously unknown strain of the cordyceps fungus, infamous around the globe for its ability to
Wait, it looks like one of the analog horror I watched. Dang, they're already taking over our civilization.
create zombie bugs.
Ew.
And the way it does it,
Ew.
most around the globe
It's a freaking spider.
for its ability to create zombie bugs. And the way it does it is unbelievably horrific. You see, it begins with a spore landing on an ant and producing a thin rope-like strand that penetrates and attaches to their exoskeleton.
Hey.
At which point, the ant gets a little timer on his hotbar, counting down to a family
Fungus lol.
reunion with his ancestors. Once inside, the fungus begins to take control of the ant's body and brain function, completely changing their behavior, replacing their colony-focused mindset with one single goal: climb. Its fungus-riddled mind drags its rapidly deteriorating body to the closest high point, which is usually a plant, with its final act being to clamp its mandibles onto the stem in a death grip, finally succumbing to the infection and being completely consumed, its corpse blossoming into a fully grown cordyceps fungus and raining down spores onto the rest of the colony to continue the cycle of infection. Now look, I know this fungus is found elsewhere in the world, but it's a new strain and it was found in Australia. With my luck, I'm going to be playing The Last of Us against couch-sized spiders within the fucking week.
Wait, not again. I posed at a very nice. Is this a koala? Why you look so satanic? Stop looking at me like that. I just want to find stuff. Is that thing before in Malaysia again? Great. It's in Malaysia. Help! So I wonder, if it hits a human being, the spore lands on a human being's hand, will we be zombies? I imagine it won't, because there's no sighting of zombies, man. But who knows? Better safe than sorry. Don't go to the forest. Don't touch grass.
This animal will peel your face off like a banana.
No.
Introducing the one creature that strikes fear into the hearts of every...
I just have to come back, the little kitty.
Introducing the one creature that strikes fear into the hearts of every Aussie. The infamous, terrifying drop bear. A species of predatory marsupial exclusive to the land.
Is it not a koala? It just looks like a wet koala, but more satanic.
Yeah. A species of predatory marsupial exclusive to the land down under. This genuine nightmare may seem pretty normal at first, closely resembling the koala bear, and that is by design. You see, the drop bear is an ambush predator, patrolling the branches of the eucalyptus tree and using their keen sense of smell to detect incoming prey. And once they can smell you approaching, they will position themselves in the leaves of the trees, being basically impossible to spot unless you're actively looking for them. And even if you do see them, you're automatically going to assume it's a koala. And that assumption is probably going to be the last mistake you make, because walking under these things is inviting the most painful death you can think of. Once you've walked into range, the drop bear will launch itself from a tree and aim directly for your head.
Holy,
Small animals will often be clapped on impact as the 20-kilo drop bear launched itself out of the tree so fast that it snaps their spine. And they're the lucky ones, because once they make contact with your head, drop bears will immediately puncture your scalp with their foreclaws and latch on like a fuzzy little face hugger. Once firmly attached to your skull, the drop bear will start to kick out your eyes with its hind claws in an attempt to blind you. And while they are forcing you to cosplay Daredevil, they will be tearing into your face with their fangs like a fucking chainsaw. The attacks are so vicious, most human victims end up being completely scalped and having their faces removed. And even if you manage to pull them off in the initial assault, those claws contain a potent neurotoxin which will paralyze you in under 5 minutes, allowing them to run you down and eat you alive. Australia loses roughly 600 people per year to drop bear attacks. So if you want to survive your trip down under, I have a secret to share with you about the drop bear. And that secret is that all of this is complete and utter bullshit. Drop bears aren't real. I made it all up. April Fool's cunt. Australia doesn't...
You, bro, what? It's not even April Fool's for me, but I seriously thought that it was real. Who knows, if people truly believe it, it might surface and eat your face.
Just have snakes. Australia doesn't just have snakes and spiders. It has a tiger. Well, kinda. Introducing the thylacine, better known as the Tassie tiger.
It looks like a dog than a tiger.
As the name suggests, native to my home state of Tasmania, this tiny little island off Australia's south coast. No, that is not New Zealand. They have hobbits, not tigers.
Like, he lives in Tasmania, that area. I remember it because it's always in the documentary. There's always something new there. And the first thing that comes to mind that I always remember is the Tasmanian devil. At least it's not a bug, but yeah.
Well, tiger isn't entirely correct. You see, the thylacine isn't a cat on steroids. You see, this bad boy is
looks like
the
a dog.
largest carnivorous marsupial on the planet. Despite the kangaroo coming in at
Marsupial.
7 foot tall and throwing kicks like Chun-Li, they are herbivores, and everything else with a pouch that eats meat is about the size of a chihuahua, making this 1.3 metre, 20 kilo kangaroo dog with a tiger persona the only marsupial apex predator. See, these things were
What's a
ambush hunters,
marsupial?
using stealth and speed to silently take down their prey like they're playing Assassin's Creed. On top of being a fully qualified Spec Ops agent, these things had a mouth on them to rival Kirby. Capable of opening their jaw a full 80 fucking degrees, which is absolutely terrifying and really cool.
Oh, shit.
There's just one small problem. You may have picked up on me talking mostly in the past tense, and that all of this footage is in black and white.
Oh.
That's because we don't have a tiger. We had one. Unfortunately,
Oh, no.
the thylacine was driven to extinction in the late 1980s.
No!
By what exactly? The British. You see, when the Brits, did
Man,
their thing and decided Tasmania was their house now, actually, they brought with them livestock, namely sheep and cattle, which was a fucking blessing to the Tassie tiger, which rapidly added these walking meatballs with the survival instincts of a wet sock to their meal plans.
It's free real estate.
The colonists
free
did
real
not
estate.
take kindly to the thylacine taking their livestock without a license in it, so they placed
Deals.
bounties on their heads. Never mind that these things never attacked humans and very rarely took their livestock. No, they were an inconvenience. And so, they were hunted down.
Dang it!
One by one by one. For 70 fucking years.
70 is
Until
wild.
September 7th, 1936, when the last thylacine, Benjamin, died cold
Benjamin.
and alone in a cage at the Hobart Zoo. Usually, I'd end these with a joke, but the fact that we wiped his entire bloodline and turned him into a fucking rug isn't that funny.
No,
This
Benjamin!
spider can remove your limbs. But how? Introducing the
Spider.
brown recluse, native to the United States of America, and a prime example of don't judge a book by its cover. Because despite only coming in at a huge 2 centimeters in length and rocking the spider equivalent of default character customization, this little f***er is a level 500 rot build that gives Melania a run for her money. You see, a bite from a recluse starts in the most American way possible, with you accidentally
Shooting.
stepping foot onto his private property, causing him to
Dun,
exercise
dun.
his Second Amendment rights. But considering a spider can't really hold a gun, he's gonna settle on biting your ass. Now, that initial bite's pretty painless. You smack him away, all's well.
Then you
There
become
is just
Spider-Man.
one small problem. Congratulations, you are now the proud owner of necrotic venom coursing
Here we go
through
again.
your veins, which at first does nothing. You walk back to your house, the bite starts to sting a little more. You feel sick. The wound swells, and the blood vessels around the bite burst, turning it a deep red.
Oh.
Over the next few days, that colour shifts from red
Purple.
to purple
Oh.
to black, as the venom literally
I swear, why, if it changes color, why aren't you in the hospital now?
destroys and kills the surrounding
Why don't-
tissue.
Why don't they go to the hospital? It turns from red to freaking black, man.
In a process called necrosis. This causes the skin to literally rot and fall off of your body. And if you don't
Ew.
catch it in time, that rot's gonna spread. If you're lucky, it'll only make you violently ill and leave permanent scarring. If you're unlucky, it just keeps spreading
Oh,
and venom starts to destroy your blood cells and shut your organs down. Now, there's kind of only one solution to that, but you weren't using that arm anyway, right?
well, oh no.
Scientists just de-extincted a 12,000-year-old dog. Well, kinda. You see, a bioengineering company called Colossal has dedicated itself to doing what every single Jurassic Park film has told us is a bad idea.
Well,
Bringing back extinct species. And
Yeah.
recently, they made a breakthrough. They have managed to bring back the 12,000-year-old direwolf.
Wow,
You know those
it's-
big-ass puppies
oh,
from Game
wow.
of Thrones that the Starks had?
oh, the dire wolves. It's all in our fantasy games.
Yeah, those were actually a real-ass animal, alive during the late
Ah.
Ice Age. And the best way I can describe them to you is, basically a wolf on steroids. Yeah, buddy! These things were bigger, faster, and stronger, estimated to have the highest bite force out of any canine. And in a
Sheesh.
move that I'm sure has no implications, they have managed to bring these
Man-made
bad
harvest.
boys back to life. These two little guys are now 6 months old and have been living on a private plot of land with 24/7 veterinary care. However, they've only just been shown off to the public, with the company going so far as to get a photo op with George R.R. Martin holding one of these adorable little killing machines, showing that man will literally interact with an extinct species before he finishes that last f***ing book. There is, however, one small problem. This isn't technically a direwolf. You see, by merit of them being extinct, short of specking into necromancy, you can't exactly bring them back. Which is where this guy comes in. You see, the grey wolf shares 99.5% of its genetic code with the direwolf. So,
It makes-
using CRISPR gene editing, they basically toss the grey wolf back into the spore creature creator, then using the code found in direwolf fossils as a build guide, juiced the
Okay.
out of it, boosting the size slider and putting some extra points into strength, as well as adjusting its head shape and teeth. All in all, they made a total of 20 edits to 14 genes, producing the closest thing we can get to a direwolf short of time travel. Which is cool
They're freaking customizing the characters.
as f***. I give it 5 years before a man-made horror beyond comprehension breaks out of that f***ing lab and we are
Oh,
all
no.
playing Resident Evil.
Oh, great. Not again. Resident Evil. Yeah, like, if mankind keeps on experimenting with weird stuff DNA-wise, we're gonna have a zombie apocalypse, you know? Which begs me to ask, if a zombie apocalypse really happens, what will you do? How you see yourself surviving in a zombie apocalypse? For me, I might try to survive a bit and suddenly trip on a random rock on the street and got mauled by zombies. Yeah. And well, getting isekai back